Hi guys, my name is Marie and I'm going to be telling you guys my story on being pregnant at 16. I met my boyfriend during the summertime of 2015. He had messaged me on Instagram and stuff like that. And we were talking and then we finally got together in December. And then since then we've been hanging out, going to his house, and he would come to mine and stuff like that. And then a couple months later, like I would say, oh God, around like Easter and Mother's Day, I felt really weird. Like my body felt really weird. I was just like very moody. I just wasn't feeling right. I still got my period and everything like that. And then on Mother's Day, we had went to his house and I told him that I was feeling really weird and stuff like that. And he was like, okay, well, we'll go get a test and everything like that. So we went to go get a test, and I took it at his house, not knowing that you're supposed to take it first thing in the morning, and obviously it came out negative, so we were both like relieved that it came out negative. And then like a couple more weeks later, I still felt the same, and I hadn't got my period. So I had texted my aunt, and she was just like, okay, if you start spotting, then maybe yes, you're pregnant, but if you start bleeding a lot, then you're not. So like I started bleeding a lot, so I was like, okay. I took another test, wasn't pregnant. A couple weeks later, I took another test. I took it in the morning because I was 3 days late and I was spotting. And so I took the test and I sat in the bathroom texting my boyfriend. I was just like so scared. And I sat there for like a good 2 minutes, and all I seen was a blue cross, blue plus sign. I was like, oh wow. I literally sat in the bathroom for like, I don't know how long, and my mom wasn't home. She had went somewhere that morning, and I was just like, oh my God, like this can't be happening right now. Like it didn't feel real to me, and I just kept staring at it, and I was in the bathroom forever, and I was crying. And so I texted my boyfriend, and he was at work, and he was like, oh my God, I'm so excited, like, and he started crying, and he told me he started crying and stuff like that. And like when I walked out of the bathroom, my cousin was in the living room, and I still had the test in my hand, and he was like, I was like, oh no, like I didn't know he was out there. And so I had texted my aunt and told her that I was pregnant, and then my boyfriend had came home from work that day to my house because he was living with me at the time. And I was like, we have to tell my mom. Like, we have to tell my mom and stepdad that day. Like, I couldn't hold it any longer because I was getting so nervous. Like, every time I'd see my mom and stepdad, I would like start to ball up because I was so scared of like how I was gonna tell them or something like that. And like, I don't know, like I didn't know what we were gonna do because I was pregnant and everything like that. So we thought of a way to tell them, and matter of fact, I didn't tell them, my boyfriend did, because I was way too scared. Like I was getting so nervous, like my hands were sweating, and I don't know, it was bad. And so we finally got the courage to tell them. My cousin was out in the living room, and he was like, oh, so you're just gonna go tell them? And I was like, yes, we are. And I was like already crying, and my mom and stepdad were outside. So we went outside. My boyfriend went out first, and I was right behind him, and my boyfriend got off the steps, and I was still on the steps, and I just started crying. Like my mom looked at me. Actually, no, my boyfriend was like, okay, we need to tell you guys something. I have something to tell you guys. And so I just started crying when he said that. My mom looked at me and she was like, I already know what you guys are gonna tell me. I'm gonna beat your ass, Marie. And I was like, oh my God, like she was so disappointed. Like she was so angry, like disappointed, angry. She wasn't mad or anything like that. She didn't hate me, but she was very disappointed because I'm her first child, and I'm pregnant at 16, and she also made the mistake and got pregnant too at a young age with me. And so my stepdad was just, he was very calm, but like, I don't know, my mom like got up, started crying, and went inside and slammed the door. I could hear her slam her bedroom door, so it was so loud. And my stepdad was like, well, you guys are gonna have to figure out something to do. So I was still out there crying and stuff like that, and my stepdad was like, okay, well, Trayvon, that's my boyfriend's name, he was like, Trayvon, get in the truck, I'm gonna take you for a ride. And I was like, oh my god, what's gonna happen? And they went on a ride, and they just talked about everything, and Trayvon had told my stepdad, you know, I'm not gonna leave her, I'm gonna support her in any way I can, because that's my child too, and I'm not gonna want to leave my child and stuff like that. So, like, it was hard telling my mom, and my mom didn't believe it at first because I was in my room, I was crying, and my sister was in there, and my sister had already knew because I had told her, and my mom was like, how do you know you're pregnant? And I said, because I took a pregnancy test. She was like, where's it at? And it was in my purse, and I pulled it out. I believe I had 2 of them, but that's where my stepdad and Trayvon went. They went to go get another pregnancy test just to make sure. So I pulled it out and showed my mom. My mom was like, oh yeah, you're definitely pregnant, because that blue plus sign was very blue, very clear to see. So they had picked up some, and I took it again, and obviously it came back positive. And I found out May 25th of 2016, the day before my mom and stepdad's wedding anniversary, so it was like a big shock to them. So my mom had made a doctor's appointment. We went to the doctor that next day, May 26th, on their wedding anniversary. And we got they checked again to see if I was pregnant, because my mom really wanted to know and everything like that. And they came in the room and they were like, yes, she's pregnant. So from there on, my mom stopped making me take pregnancy tests and everything like that. And she believed it, but she wasn't happy about it or anything like that. And yeah, it was crazy. And it's just, I love my son to death now. Even like they had given me the options to abortion, which I wasn't gonna do, or adoption, or keep it. And I didn't know what I wanted to do, because I was still going to school. Actually, no, I wasn't. I was on home studies, but home studies my junior year. I was a junior when I got pregnant. And then I stayed on home studies my senior year because I had my son in January of this year. And it was crazy. But I graduated, so yeah, that's my story of finding out I was pregnant at 16. But if you guys have any other requests of videos that you want me to do, like, let's see, my labor and delivery, that's a good one. If you guys want to hear about that, a Q&A on anything you want to know, just anything, just comment below and I'll do it. Thank you.